What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Michael Knapp Fishing. Today we're going to do part 2 of the buyer's guide. We just got back from Cherokee Lake and it was just a bust out there. So we're going to film buyer's guide part 2 for Christmas. So let's go, guys. All right, guys, so I'm standing outside of my house right now where the future bass cave will be going whenever it gets done. But we left off part 1. We did soft plastics, and I showed everybody the my Exons, and then I listed all the different variations and whatnot, different brands, different choices for everybody down in the description below. So today we're going to do the same thing. We will list every single bait down in the description below. Today isn't going to be quite as in-depth and large of a video. It's 5 baits that we're not going to go like totally crazy today on baits. We're going to talk about swim baits today, and it's one of those things that I absolutely love to throw. It's a lot of fun for me to throw on Cherokee, especially in the wintertime when we're chasing those big smallmouth. So we're going to start off with the hard bodies, and then we'll move to the soft bodies. So first one up, well, let me rephrase it. This is swim baits and glide baits. I forgot, it's kind of whichever way you want to toss it. But either way, first up is this bad boy. This is the Storm Arashi glide bait. Coming in, it comes in over 3 ounces. It's a very large bait. This is, I want to say 6 or 7 inches long. It might actually go 8. No, I think that's 7 inches long. Comes in a lot of various different colors. I think there's a total of 8 different colors. It's got a very nice glide action in the water. This is kind of referred to more as a cover glide. For those of you who aren't like super big into the glide bait game, the glide on this one is a little tighter. It's a little more predictable. So I like to throw this around like brush, docks, stuff that treble hook baits can get hung easily if it isn't predictable as to what it's going to do. So that's why I like the Storm Arashi here. This here is the Gizzard Shad pattern. At least that's what I refer to it as, is the Gizzard Shad pattern. I can't really remember what color it actually is called. But it comes with very sturdy hardware. As you can see, those are big hooks. Good large hooks. They're not going to give you any problems. I live next to an airport, so sorry if y'all hear the airport noise. The tails do come off. They send you an extra tail in the pack. It just has a little pin over here. You pop the pin out, switch the tail out if the tail gets damaged. So that's the Storm Arashi. Now the next hard bait, and then we've got 3 soft baits. This is a fun little bait. This is the Bucca Baby Bull Shad. This is the bone color. It is a 3-segmented glide bait. It is smaller than usual, smaller than most glide baits, but it's very erratic. It looks really good in the water. I'm trying to figure out how to hold this just right for y'all so you can see it. It's very erratic in the water. It looks good. It gives a nice tight action, but it can also give a nice wide action when you slow it down, and it is weighted and it sinks pretty quick. So besides the fact that it sinks pretty quickly, you can actually keep it up in the water column too by the faster you reel it. It does give a very nice snake action in the water. I call it a snake action, but it swims. It comes with some decent hardware. Well, I say decent hardware, and I broke this one earlier, but it comes with good hardware. I've never lost a fish on it. Good split rings, good hardware. They will break on rocks. That's just kind of how it goes. So, but anyway, that's the Bucca Baby Bull Shad. I like it a lot. Really good swim bait. You can throw this on normal rods. You don't have to have a dedicated glide bait rod or dedicated swim bait rod to be able to throw this, and that's why I like it a lot. A lot of people throw this on a spinning rod. Not a fan. I throw it on a medium action old 18. It's actually my jerk bait rod. It can throw up to a 3/4 ounce. So that's why I chose this bad boy or that rod for this little guy. All right, so the next 3 baits are quote unquote soft body. One of them has a hook built in. The other 2, you have to add hooks or a swim bait head hook, whatever, however you want to do it. We're not going to go over the actual swim bait heads in this video. So the first bait, well, the third bait, but the first one that I'm going to show you in progression of the soft bodies is the Huddleston. This is the Huddleston Deluxe in Gizzard Shad. Again, that seems to be kind of what I go with, the Gizzard Shad, just because of the way we fish around here and what we have. But it is I believe this is a 5-inch bait, 5-inch or 6-inch bait. I think it's 6-inch now I say it. It does have the bigger tail on it. This has got, the Huddleston Deluxe has the bigger boot tail, so that you get a really nice wide action in the water. It is designed to be fished a little slower, in my opinion. I fish it much slower. And when it comes through the water, it gives off a lot of wake, or not wave because it's under the water, but a lot of its presence is known because of its size and the way that tail kicks. And it's not one of those deals that you have to be fishing for big fish. I've caught numerous 1 and 2 pounders on this bad boy, but I've also caught, big fish on it, 4, 5, 6 pound largemouth, as well as 4 or 5 pound smallmouth on this bad boy. All around great bait. The hook does come out of the top here. You can see the head here. They come in various different weights for the rate of fall. I think it comes in a rate of fall of 5 and a rate of fall of 12, something around there. Like I said, everything's going to be linked down in the description below, and it's going to give you exacts of what I throw, the colors I like, and all that jazz. But you all are more than welcome to experiment with different rates of fall and everything. So that's the Huddleston Deluxe there. Yet again, a swim bait that I really love to throw. Now, the next 2, these are, I guess they're technically defined as boot tail swim baits. They are, they're the one's kind of a staple for wintertime fishing. I fish it non-stop in the wintertime. And then the other one is kind of my summer staple for swim baits. A lot of people always ask me why I don't use one, why I have a dedicated bait. It's the same bait, not the same bait, but like the same style of bait. But I use one in the winter and one in the summer. There, a lot of people ask why. So I'm actually going to go into detail about why I do that as well. So first up is the Keitech, the Swing Impact the Swing Impact swim baits. Everybody knows about these baits. If you don't know about a Keitech, you've been missing out for a long time. This is just a wintertime killer of baits. This is the Pro Blue or Shiner Electric Shad. There she is. You just rig this with a jig head right through the head, and you've got your top hook that'll come up here. And the Keitech has got just the most incredible tail action on it, and that's why it's so great, especially in the winter time. In the wintertime, a lot of plastics start to get stiff and they don't come through the water quite as well. But the Keitech is that one exception, because the Keitech does have the ribs on it. It is a ribbed plastic, but the tail is very thin. So even in the wintertime, when that water is, sub 30, when you're in that 30, 35, 40 degree water temperatures, it still moves, it still looks great in the water, and it's still a fish catcher. This is a staple on Cherokee for a lot of us. We fish this a lot for those smallmouth out there that are hanging out in that 30, 40, 50 foot range. You just rig it on whatever your favorite swim bait head is, and those fish just cannot stand these. They love them. All right, so the final bait for part 2 of the buyer's guide. This is my quote unquote summer boot tail swim bait, and it's because of the action. I really can't remember if I've done a video on this swim bait or not, but it's the Exon Lures Mega Swammer. This is a 5.5 inch bait, and the way it swims in the water is why I don't use it in the winter. In the winter time, shad and the bait fish are very lethargic. They're not, they don't move very much. They're just very you know, very easy moving, very slow. This thing right here, there ain't nothing slow about this. This thing is just incredible. When it comes through the water, not only does the boot tail kick back and forth like this, but it actually wobbles up front as well, the way it's designed. So it's actually doing like this number in the water. And it's just got too much action for the winter time. So that's why this is my summertime swim bait. And I absolutely love this bait. I'll actually rig this on a 1/2 ounce to a 3/4 ounce swim bait head. And that hook comes out like way back here. And it's a great head to be able to really catch those largemouth when they're out deep. And it also catches those smallmouth. You know, a lot of people think smallmouth, you got to go with small baits. And a lot of time that's true, but they will chase bigger baits as well. You know, I've caught big old smallmouth on that Huddleston, on this bad boy. You know, I've caught a lot of fish on this bad boy as well as this one. And you'll notice they're about the same size, same length. This has got more of a bulky profile, but this is still the same size of it. And like I said, you can still catch smallmouth on both of these. You don't have to go down to these itty bitty little swim baits. So this, like I said, this is the Exon Swammer. This is the 5.5 inch. This is the Mega Swammer. They have a 3.5 inch, a 4 inch, and this is the 5.5 inch. Various different colors. I'm gonna link my favorite colors down there in the description below. This is Purple Shiner, I believe. Yeah, this is Purple Shiner. One of my favorite colors, especially on Cherokee Lake, is, I don't know what it is about Cherokee, but they love purple for some reason on Cherokee. Any of you boys that have ever fished Cherokee Lake with me, or just fished Cherokee in general, you know they love purple for whatever reason. So, but that's number 5 for us today, and our final swim bait. All right, guys, so that is it for Buyer's Guide Part 2. Those are kind of my favorite swim baits, glide baits. And, you know, the great thing about these is they don't break the bank. You know, some of those glide baits and swim baits, like the like Gancraft and Mother and some of those Japanese, you know, you get up into the $150, $200 range for some of those swim baits. And that's the great thing about these, is they're very reasonably priced. The Storm Arashi comes in at under $40. I want to say it's like 35 bucks. What'd I do with the Huddleston? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. The Huddleston, I think this one comes in at like, this one comes in under 30. I think it comes in at like 26, 27. And you know, they're good big baits that you're going to be able to catch big fish on, but they don't break the bank. And you know, that's why I really love these, and why I think a lot of people would like these as Christmas gifts for their significant others. So anyway, if you guys like these videos, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment down in the comment section below. I greatly appreciate it, guys. See y'all for part 3 coming out next.